Take a look then at what's grabbing headlines around the world with Alison Sargent. Alison, hello to you. You're going to be starting us off then in Algeria with those ongoing protests against Bouteflika's plan to run for a 5th term in office.
Right, and we're going to take a look at the papers here in France. These protests have been getting lots of attention here because Algeria is a former colony of France's. Communist paper L'Humanité has an Arabic headline actually today. One word there, karama, meaning dignity. They report that young people are really on the front lines of these protests. They're demanding that President Bouteflika, who is old and unwell, retract his candidacy before a deadline this Sunday. While French newspapers have been quite vocal about the situation in Algeria, the French government has been virtually silent. And Le Monde writes that although the government has sort of opted to keep a low profile, that doesn't mean that they're not paying attention. One diplomat told Le Monde that because Algeria is a former French colony, they know that anything that they say is going to be very scrutinized, possibly over or even misinterpreted. The paper says that the French government really doesn't want to upset the Algerian government, but they made it very clear to reporters that they are closely monitoring the situation there.
Okay, Alison, let's go then from Algeria to Argentina, where there's been a story that's attracted a lot of outrage. An 11-year-old girl who was raped and then given a C-section. Tell us a little bit about it.
Right, this is a pretty terrible story, actually. This girl was raped by the partner of her grandmother, so a much older man. Left-wing paper Pagina Doce writes that she did not want to didn't want to have the baby, but was essentially forced to by local health authorities who remain staunchly opposed to abortion. Abortion is illegal in Argentina, although rape is supposed to be one of the cases that is an exception to those laws. Still, the paper says authorities really dragged out the process until this baby was 23 weeks old and then performed a C-section instead of an abortion and put the baby on life support, although it is not expected to survive. This case has really horrified women's rights activists and put abortion back into the headlines in Argentina. It also sparked an online movement of women, like the ones you see here, tweeting photos of themselves at 11 years old, reminding the public just how young that is. Their hashtag and slogan for this movement is "Girls, Not Mothers."
Yeah, really a pretty terrible story coming out of Argentina there, Alison. You're going to take us a look then to Hanoi, to taking some reaction to that collapsed summit between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un.
Right, lots of cartoon reactions. In particular, cartoonists have been making fun of the U.S. President Donald Trump, who famously got out of fighting in the Vietnam War. Well, now he's lost a bit of a battle of his own in Vietnam. We see Donald Trump there stepping onto a rake that is then slapping him in the face. Kim Jong-un is saying to him, well, now you can at least say that you were wounded in Nam. Another character who's been popping up in a lot of these cartoons is the British Prime Minister, Theresa May, because if there's anyone who knows the pain of a no deal, it is her. Trump here is saying no deal is better than a bad deal. Theresa May, though, no longer agrees because, of course, she is trying to get any deal agreed before the Brexit deadline.
Alison, something quite different for you now then, to Germany, where a pug has been making headlines there after it was seized by police and then sold on eBay.
This is a pretty absurd story, Nadia. It's actually making the front pages in Germany. This pug was seized from its family because they owed money to German authorities, in part because the family had not been paying the country's dog tax. As a pedigree pug, this dog was deemed one of the most valuable items that the family had. It was taken away. And here in the Rheinische Post, you see the pug with its new owner. She bought the dog on eBay for 750 euros without knowing its history. And this story actually wasn't getting attention until this new owner decided to sue German authorities because she says that the pug actually had numerous expensive health problems that she did not know about in advance. Meanwhile, the family, the original family, is also very upset with German authorities for selling the dog in the first place. They had really planned on eventually getting their dog back. The paper Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung calls it this whole debacle the pug fiasco. The paper explores the legality of authorities taking this animal from its family. It turns out it was legal of them to do that, but the paper says that it is highly unusual.
I love that story, Alison. Finally for you then, something on a lighter and a more culinary note. There's a viral story then of a young man who was caught on camera really enjoying some pizza while Donald Trump's former lawyer was giving his testimony.
That's right. This hungry guy has captured the hearts of many people on the internet, and I have to say he is pretty relatable. We've all been there, so hungry that you eat before you realize what's actually going on around you. In this case, this guy unfortunately was caught on camera. He was behind a journalist who was reporting live on the Michael Cohen hearing. He has been dubbed Pizza Intern, although it turns out he is not, in fact, an intern. He is a student at Georgetown University. His most passionate and loyal fans have set up a GoFundMe page to help him buy more pizza, because apparently he needs even more. They've already raised $275, so he will have enough for quite a bit of pizza.
Well, I hope so. I hope he gets some more, Alison. Thank you very much indeed. Alison Sargent there with our press review today on the programme. And as always, if you'd like more from Alison and our team of press reviewers, you can head to our website, france24.com, to take a look at all the other stories we've been covering for you in the world press.